Welcome to the NBA Show, Episode 1. My name is Coach Gibson Pyper from Half Court Hoops on Twitter and YouTube, thebasketballplaybook.com. This is going to be an NBA breakdown show in which we kind of go over what happened in the previous night of NBA basketball from a coach's perspective, looking at some breakdowns of some important games, my favorite sets that I like that teams ran, and just different perspective from a coach's eye. You can see here the table of contents. We have everything that we'll be going over today with the timestamps on it for you guys, so you can kind of skip around to the video if you want to, go to a specific part or whatever you're looking for. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. Hit me up on Twitter at HalfCourtHoops. What I would like from you guys is get feedback of what you guys want to see more of, see less of them, and try to get as much content out there as I can for you guys now that I'm doing this full time. Would love to help out in any way possible. We got a lot of stuff coming up, NBA playoffs, March Madness, and during all of these breakdowns, I would love to see just you guys let me know what you like, what you don't like, and we'll go from there. So we'll get started with some kind of initial thoughts on the NBA and really the Lakers. I think is the biggest thing that it's a little bit difficult to kind of, I guess, not comprehend, but really fathom that LeBron could really be out of the playoffs, after going to play for the Lakers, who, are considered to be a top franchise. Now, I don't think they're a top franchise in the way that they're run. I mean, they've made some clear mistakes, and they really didn't deserve to get LeBron, but neither did the Cavs when he probably came back to Cleveland the first time. It was just Kyrie was there. And, I mean, that's the biggest difference in this Lakers iteration versus the Cavs is, you look at the 2014-15 roster LeBron had. It was not very deep. It wasn't very good. It was Brendan Haywood was on the roster. It wasn't impressive. But the biggest difference was they had Kyrie. They traded for J.R. Smith. I think Iman Shumpert halfway through the year. It's just you look at the Lakers roster, and obviously they're injured and they're banged up. They've been out without Lonzo, and they're in the West, so it's a little bit tougher. But the West isn't as good as what has been in years past. So just watching them kind of struggle and watching LeBron out there with Caruso and McGee and Lance Stevenson, it just kind of makes me a little sad. It just wasn't supposed to happen. Why wouldn't you surround him with shooters? It just didn't make any sense. But so it's a little weird, and obviously, you look at the Nuggets compared to the Lakers, and it's night and day, and the Nuggets are one of the youngest teams in the NBA right now. So it's really interesting to see the contrast and where the teams are at, and even though one team has the best player, that really he has no help, and it just is really kind of frustrating to see that happen, and just a little weird. You just didn't expect it. So we look at the playoff picture now. After tonight, the Lakers are basically out. They were pretty much out before, but now 538 has them as like a less than 1% chance of making it. So currently, Miami just slid into the 8 seed. They played Charlotte tonight, which was basically almost like an early playoff game. And they beat Charlotte, which was a good win for them. So now you got, the Nets who beat the Cavs. They're pretty much in my, and then the Pistons, who've been really, really impressed with. I was high on them early in the year before the season started, and they hadn't done so well up and down. But, they've won, they're 8-2. In their last 10, they've been playing really good basketball. Had a pretty decent comeback against Minnesota, who, solid team. Nothing special, but, a West contending playoff team, let's call them. And, a good win, being 8-2 in your last 10 is just great. Playing some good ball. And then obviously the Heat are in the A slot right now, but you got the Heat, the Magic, and the Hornets all within a game of each other, so they're kind of basically all competing for that last playoff spot, which is super interesting. Haven't looked at their schedules or anything, but the Magic have been playing really, really well too. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Dropped a couple here and there, but they beat the Warriors and lose to the Cavs. It's that's how you go be a bubble playoff team. So then the West is pretty much solidified. Minus the Kings are now 4 games back after they lost to Boston tonight, and Boston has back-to-back wins on the road without Kyrie tonight. That was really good. But that puts them 4 back of the Clippers. So it looks like the playoffs in the West are pretty much, settled unless something crazy happens. It's still feasible. There's still a good amount of time, but it makes it really, really tough. When Kings are 4 games back, Lakers are now 6.5 games back, and the Clippers, I think, own the tiebreaker. That's just not going to get it done. And 2-8 in their last 10, it's not great. So right now the matchups would be Milwaukee versus Miami in the East. That's 1-8, and then Toronto versus Brooklyn 2-7, Indiana versus Detroit 3-6, and Philly versus Boston at 4-5. That would be a brutal matchup. What I'm thinking is going to happen, what you think was going to happen is either Philly or Boston's going to rise up and snag that 3 seed from Indiana, and then we could at least get a 4-5 if the Philadelphia, Indiana, or Boston, Indiana. That would be much more intriguing, so we can at least keep top 4 teams in the East would be left after the first round. You'd think Milwaukee versus Philly or in Boston, and then Toronto versus Philly or Boston. That would be ideal for me anyways to watch. And then in the West we have Golden State versus the Clippers. That'd be the 1-8 right now. Denver versus San Antonio, which is sneaky because San Antonio, I don't think they're afraid of Denver. I don't really know what Denver is. They don't have a ton of playoff experience. Whereas you look at DeMar and LaMarcus for San Antonio at least have experience. You feel like the second unit wouldn't get hurt like Denver hurts teams with their second unit. That'd be a very intriguing matchup. Houston versus Utah. Houston probably is gonna win that one. Gobert and Favors are gonna be played off the floor with Harden just killing them in isolation. And then OKC Portland versus the 4 and the 5 would be super interesting and a lot of fun. I really like how these current West matchups are slated, because LA would be fun to watch against Golden State. I would love to have Sacramento sneak in there at the 8 seed and play Golden State in the first round. At least be really, really fun, but they're just too far back, I think, right now. And the Clippers just don't make any really mistakes. Like, they just beat who they're supposed to beat, and they lose who they're supposed to lose to. So that's kind of the playoff scenario right now. As time goes on each day, we do these. We'll go ahead and just kind of update as things happen and teams win. So let's go ahead and get into some breakdowns. We'll start with just under 2 minutes left with the 76ers up 4. Here we can see a zipper ball screen set from the Bulls, and the theme of this breakdown is basically how the Bulls attacked Mike Scott in pick and roll. The initial entry is a zipper cut to the top of the key, then a ball screen from Robin Lopez. Here we can see that Scott is in drop coverage, and Levine's going to get downhill attacking that drop coverage, basically looking to kind of force Scott to make a decision and make a little read off of it. Nice job planting off the inside foot and then hitting a nice little kind of pullback jumper that keeps the Bulls within 2, under 2 minutes left. The 76ers are going to come back down and run just a basic spread ball screen. They're playing small ball with Scott at the 5, so trying to take advantage of that with Lopez guarding the ball screen. Butler misses the shot, then gets called for the offensive foul. On this ball screen here, you can see Jimmy Butler makes the right read. Levine's going to be the one guarding it, and he's going to kind of get caught on this rescreen and go under the screen. As soon as he goes under the screen here, that's an automatic read for most guards to pull up and shoot the shot. Jimmy Butler just ends up missing it and then gets called for the foul. With the Bulls having the ball coming back the other way, you're going to see them run that same zipper ball screen set, zipper pick and roll set for Levine, attacking Mike Scott in drop coverage again. This time just a little bit fading away a little bit too much. Here's that zipper cut into the ball screen from Lopez. Again, just like they just ran it, attacking Scott in the drop coverage. Here we can see as Levine comes off here, his balance is just a little bit going backwards and ends up just leaving it short. The Bulls corral the offensive rebound and then flow back into what they're looking to get a post up for Markkanen. Philadelphia does a scram switch on the fly. Ben Simmons gets a steal, ends up going the other direction too fast and throws the ball out of bounds, and that gives the ball back to the Bulls. The Bulls are going to run a strong or stagger set into a spread ball screen for Levine, again putting Scott in ball screen coverage. Levine does a good job absorbing contact and then finishing. The set starts with a pass to the elbow, then a double screen on the weak side for Levine to come off. As Levine comes off and catches the ball, Lopez turns and is going to set a ball screen for Levine. And again, Mike Scott's in that drop coverage. So you can see Levine do a good job getting a crossover jab into Scott's body and then finishing through contact. And that is 105-105, tie ball game with 46 seconds left. This time, the 76ers get the ball to Tobias Harris at the elbow and let him go one-on-one and ends up just missing a bad shot. Here you can see the play starts with Butler passing to Harris at the elbow, and then Butler and Simmons are both going to kind of clear, allowing Tobias Harris a lane to drive in. Harris is isolated one-on-one. He drives and doesn't really go through contact well. Kind of hits off the bottom of the backboard. Pretty solid defense from the Bulls there. With 33 seconds left and the ball, the Bulls are going to come down and run just a basic spread ball screen. Again, putting Mike Scott in ball screen coverage is the general theme of this breakdown. We hit Lopez on the roll, who ends up getting fouled. So you can see here Scott is in drop coverage. Doesn't really know to take Levine to switch. Not really sure what to do. Caught in no man's land. Good pocket pass by Levine, and then a little bit of a sidestep by Lopez to draw the foul and go to the free throw line. Lopez goes to the free throw line, misses the first one, makes the second attempt, and then the 76ers call a timeout. After the timeout, we're going to see the ball get inbounded to Mike Scott. Jimmy Butler is going to cut up like he wants the ball, spin, and go backwards like he's looking for a backdoor cut. Nothing was there, so we go right into a dribble handoff, then a little kind of speed pop. Jimmy Butler drives downhill, absorbs contact, and goes to the free throw line. Here's that line out of bounds from the 76ers. Two guards cutting off of Scott. Scott opens up. Here we're going to watch Jimmy Butler flash to the ball, plant hard, then turn and spin, maybe looking for the lob. Nothing was there, so we get Levine retreating back to the basket. Now we get Butler one-on-one scenario with Levine. Scott is going to clear here on this kind of speed pop off the ball screen. Butler gets a driving lane, gets fouled, goes to the free throw line. At the free throw line, he makes both, putting the 76ers up one with 4.8 seconds left. This basically determines the game because we can see again the problems that Mike Scott's having guarding on defense as Levine turns the corner and gets an and one. Now Lopez is going to set this little cross screen and then flash to the ball. As he flashes to the ball, Levine's going to hit him and then cut off of it. We can see both Butler and Mike Scott are defending in this play. In this scenario, you think it's a switch, so Scott would jump out and Butler would stay on Lopez. In this case, they both go with Lopez and allows Levine to attack. And you can see him attacking downhill here, and he's basically going one-on-none because Ben Simmons is just a little bit late to react because he wasn't expecting it. That allows Levine to score a layup. Here you can see that replay of that, then both going with Lopez, who doesn't have the ball anymore, allows Levine to score an easy layup. Late game, still out of bounds for the 76ers with 0.5 left. They try to get Jimmy Butler slipping to the basket. Not too bad of a play. You can see if he throws it now, Butler would probably be open on that slip. Brad Stevens ran a similar play for the Celtics in last year's playoffs. Weirdly, they brought the team back out and had another chance and look at the sideline out of bounds. We're going to see a simple screen by J.J. Redick here for Jimmy Butler to maybe look to curl. He ends up fading to the top of the key and then just mishandles the pass, and that's how the Bulls secure the victory. Now we're going to look at some of my favorite sets, starting with an after timeout set from the Brooklyn Nets. That is a nice little throwback set for Allen Crabbe to get downhill. This set starts off with D'Angelo Russell passing the ball to the wing to Allen Crabbe, who comes off a screen from Damari Carroll. After the pass to the wing, you're going to see Crabbe flip the ball back to D'Angelo Russell. After he flips it back, he's going to come off like a flare screen from Jared Allen. As this happens, D'Angelo Russell's going to fill to the strong side corner, and then Allen's going to turn and set a little throwback screen for Allen Crabbe to come back towards the ball. We can see Kevin Love is playing off. That allows Crabbe to get downhill for a layup. Great after timeout set. My horn set of the night is a horns pistol set from the Utah Jazz and the Dallas Mavericks. We're going to see these sets start off with a pass to Joe Ingles at the elbow, and then Rubio is going to cut right off it for a little flip back. This is very similar to the pistol or 21 action we see in early offense. This causes two New Orleans Pelicans defenders to get stuck together, allowing Rubio to go downhill for an open layup. Our sideline out of bounds set of the night comes from Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a really good sideline out of bounds set that has Spain pick and roll action in it, with a couple different elements and layers to it. So we're going to see the play starts off with a little zipper cut from Jeff Teague to the top of the key. After this, he's going to fake come off a ball screen from Towns, turn and hand it back to Andrew Wiggins, who inbounded the ball to him. As this happens, we're going to see Saric come up for the Spain action. So as the ball screen from Towns is happening, Saric is going to set a back screen on Andre Drummond, who is Towns' man. This is Spain ball screen action. It's very common. As Wiggins gets downhill, Blake Griffin has to make a decision. Normally in this scenario, he should just take the ball handler, but it really puts him in a tough decision-making spot because he doesn't know if he's supposed to take Towns. If Drummond's going to switch off for Ellington, it's a tough set to guard. The baseline out of bounds set of the night comes from the 76ers. It's a late clock baseline out of bounds, pretty good action, similar to floppy. So we're going to see the two players on the inside both cut to the elbows, lift action. And then we're going to see the two outside players for Philadelphia come up and set kind of outside screens. This is similar to floppy action, just flip baseline out of bounds. As Tobias Harris is coming off of this screen, we're going to see Bolden set a screen and then pop right to the top of the tee, or I guess to the wing, and catch an open jumper for a shot. The special or end of game set is this hammer screen the screener set from the Sacramento Kings to tie the game on a foul off Gordon Hayward. We're going to see this set start off with a double ball screen on the wing. As this double ball screen is going on, Heald on the weak side is going to set this kind of flare screen or the hammer screen. After he sets his hammer screen, he's then going to come off another screen or a throwback screen from Willie Cauley-Stein for a jump shot, and he ends up getting fouled. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I hope you took something away from it. What I want from you guys is your feedback and your support. If you guys could just subscribe, give this a like. You can find me on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at HalfCourtHoops, Facebook, The Basketball Playbook, thebasketballplaybook.com, patreon.com/HalfCourtHoops. Any suggestions or anything you guys have for me about these videos, please let me know. I look forward to doing more and getting more and more in depth with the NBA breakdowns as the playoffs come near. We can get more in depth into the finer details of the game. Have a great day.